About three things I was absolutely positive. First, Edward was a vampire. Second, there was a part of him, and I don't know which wait a minute. This is the wrong story. Chapter 11. Author's note. I said stop flaming up, prebz. See if this chapter is srupid, 1111. It deals with really isses. See for herself if it's stupid fangs to my friend Raven for helping me. It's like grammar died. No, I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to fuck off, and I ran to my room crying myself. Dumbledore chased after me, shouting, but he had to stop when I went into my room because he would look like a perv that way. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily while I put on the Linkin Park song at full volume. I grabbed a steak. That's like the food, steak. And almost stuck it into my heart to commit suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black, low-cut dress with lace all over it, sandally. I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends, and six pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't fucking believe it. Then I looked out the window and screamed. Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me, and Lupin was masticating to it. They were sitting on their broomsticks. Ew, you fucking perv, stop looking at me naked. Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting on a black towel with a picture of Marilyn Mason on it. Suddenly a vampire ran in. Abracadabra, he yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming and the camera broke. Suddenly Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, it has been revealed that someone else has... No! He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then he waved his wand, and suddenly Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, Everyone, we need to talk. What do you know, Hagrid? You're just a little Hogwarts student. I may be a Hogwarts student, Hagrid paused angrily, but I am also a Satanist. This cannot be, Snap said in a crisp voice as blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him. There must be other factors. You don't have any, I yelled in madly. Lupin held up the camera triumphantly. The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there. I felt faint. More than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood. Why are you doing this? Lupin said, angrily, while he rubbed his dirty hands on his cloak. And then I heard the words that I had heard before, but not from him. I did not know whether to feel shocked or happy or to bite him and drink his blood because I felt faint. Because, Hagrid said, and he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air. Then swooped he in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're gothic? Snap asked in a little afraid voice, because he was afraid it meant he was connected with Satan. Because I love her! Chapter 12. Author's note. Stop okay? Hagrid is a pedo to a lot of people in American schools are like that. I wanted to address the issue. How do you know Snap ain't Christian? Plus, Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony. That was Cedric, okay? By the way, that's Cedric with an S. Cedric. I was about to slit my wrists again with the silver knife that Draco had given me in case anything happened to him. He had told me to use it valiantly against an enemy, but I knew that we must both go together. No, I thought. It was Hagrid, but it was vampire. He started to scream, "Oh my fucking god, no! My scar hurts!" And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. What? Red whites? What? I stopped. How did you know? I saw it, and my scar turned back into the lightning bolt. No! I ran up closer. I thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted. I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation, he said back. Anyway, my scar hurt, and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me! Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. Oh, boy. Anyway, I was in the school nurse's office, now recovering from my slit wrists. Snap and Lupin and Hagrid were there, too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered because they were pedophiles. And you can't have those fucking pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the video camera they took of me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into my hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses. Enemy, I need to tell you something. Something, he said in a serious voice, giving me the roses. Fuck off, I told him. You know I fucking hate the color pink anyway, and I don't like fucked up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before being gothic. No, enemy, Hagrid says. Those are not roses. What are you goths too, you poser prep? I asked because I was angry that he had brought me pink roses. I saved your life, he yelled angrily. No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton video made from your shower scene and being wooed by Snap and Lupin, who masturbated. See, is that spelled wrong? To it, he added silently. Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses. These aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with an evil look in his eye and muttered, Well, if you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say. That's not a spell, that's an MCR song. I corrected him wisely. Wisely? No, fuck off. I know I was just warming up my vocal cords. Then he screamed. Petulus Marengo me cremida romancio. For all you cool gothic MCR fans out there, that is a tribute. Specifically for Raven. I love you, girl. IMO, not okayO. And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air. And it was black. Now I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you now. What the fuck is Draco? Hagrid rolled his eyes. Hold on. Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing. You see, Anabi, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame. To see what is in the flames. Ha ha, reverse flames, get it? You must find yourself first, Kay. I have found myself okay, you mean, old man? Hagrid yelled. Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed. "You are a liar, Prof. Dumbledore." Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini-dress that was all ripped up on the ends with lace on it. There was some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on black fishnets and black high-heeled boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around me so I looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you're a prep, so fuck off. And I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss. Yeah, you're ready for bed. "Ooh, look, kawaii girl," Bloody Mary said sadly. "Fangs, get it? You do too," I said sadly, too. But I was still upset. I slit both of my wrists, feeling totally depressed, and I sucked all of the blood. I cried again in my bathroom and put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes. Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff. Fuck off, Hufflepuff is great. "Hi," he said in a depressed way. "Hi back," I said in a... What the fuck is that word? It starts with a W, but... Give me a second. "Hi back," I said in a qualicid way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful red gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then we jumped on each other and started screwing each other. "Stop it now, you horny simpletons!" shouted Professor McGonagall, who was watching us, and so was everyone else. "Vampire, you fucker," I said, slapping him. "Stop trying to screw me. You know I loved Draco," I shouted, and then I ran away angrily. Just then he started to scream. "Oh my fucking god, no! My scar hurts!" And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. "No!" I ran up closer. "I thought you didn't have a scar anymore," I shouted. "I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation," he said back. "Anyway, my scar hurt, and then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him in bondage. Special thanks to Raven, my Gothic's blood sister. What the fuck? You're supposed to writ this. 11111111111. Hey Raven, do you know where my sweater... Chapter 13. Author's note. Raven, thanks for gulping me again. I'm sorry I took talk posture of Gerard, but that guy is such a fucking sex bum. Prep, stop flagging. Vampire and I ran up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared. "Dumbledore, Dumbledore!" we both yelled. Dumbledore came there. "What is it you want now, you despicable snobs?" he asked angrily. Voldemort has Draco!" we shouted at the same time. He laughed in an evil voice. "No, don't. We need to save Draco," we begged. "No," he said meanly. "I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony," he said while he frowned, looking at me. "Besides, I never liked him that much anyway." Then he walked away. Vampire started crying. "My Draco," he moaned. Author's note. Don't you gay guys are like so hot. "It's okay," I tried to tell him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. Then he had a brainstorm. "I had an idea!" he exclaimed. "What?" I asked him. "You'll see," he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. And suddenly we were in Voldemort's lair. We ran in, with our wands out, just as we heard a croon voice say, "Alacadabra!" It was Voldemort. Chapter 14. Author's note. Fuck off, Prebz! Okay. Raven, thanks for helping again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed and I had to go to the hospital 'cause I slit my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating until you give me 10 good revoirs. Warning! Some of this chapter is extremely scray. Our excretion advised. We ran to where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Hey, Cedric has a C this time. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him. Vampire and I ran in front of Snaketail. "Rid my sight, you despicable Prebz," he shouted, as we started shooting him with the gun. Suddenly he looked at me, and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes. He said, he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay?" "Huh?" I asked. "Enemy, I love you. Will you have sex with me?" asked Snaketail. I started laughing crudely. "What the fuck? You torture my BF, and then you expect me to fuck you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard," I said angrily. Then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out of him like a fountain. "No!" he screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly. "Snaketail, what art thou doing?" called Voldemort. Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us. Why is Voldemort wearing high heels? So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my room. Vampire went away. There I started crying. "What's wrong, honey?" asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw. He had a sex pack. Get it? 'Cause he's so sexy. And a really huge you-know-what and everything. "It's so unfair," I yielded. "Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls at Preps here except for Bloody Mary because she's not ugly or anything?" "Why would you want to be ugly?" "I don't like the Preps anyway. They are such fucking sluts," answered Draco. "Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampire likes me, and now even Snaketail is in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful?" I shouted angrily. Author's note. Don't worry, Enemy isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. "I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a fucking curse!" I shouted, and then I ran away. Chapter 15. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? By the way, ooze suck from no on. Every time someone flams me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. God, I hope so. Thanks to Raven for clapping. How do you say that word? Clappine. Fuck it, that's how I'm saying it. "Ebony! Ebony!" shouted Draco sadly. "No, please, come back." But I was too mad. Whatever. Now who can go and have sex with vampire? I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with my blood-red key. It had a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. He looked so sexy in a way that reminded me of Draco and Vampire. I started to cry and weep. I took a razor and started to slit my wrists. I drank the blood, all depressed. Then I looked at my black GC watch and noticed it was time to go to biology class. I put on a short, ripped black gothic dress that said Anarchy on the front in blood-red letters and was all ripped and had a spiky belt. Under that I put on ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them with blood-red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Suddenly I went downstairs feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly the guitar turned to Draco. "Enderby, I love you," he shouted sadly. I did not care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to fucking be with you. I fucking love you. Then he started to sing "The Chronicles of Life and Death." We considered it our song now, 'cause we fell in love with Joel was singing it. Right in front of the entire class. His singing voice was so amazing and gothic and sexy, like a cross between Gerard, Joel, Chester, Pierre, and Marilyn Manson. Author's note: don't you think DOS guys are so hot? If you do not know who they are, get the fuck out. Odd. Oh my fucking god, I said after he was finished. Some fucking prep stared at us, but I just stuck up my middle fingers, that were covered in black nail polish and were entwined with Draco's now, at them. "I love you," I said, and then we started to kiss just like Hilary Duff. I fucking hate that bitch. And CMM in A Cinderella Story. Then we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped 'cause everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked, and then we went together.